Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester, and I am glad to be back in the saddle. And I know so many. First of all, we're going to start off by I just want to thank everybody for their support. Thank you all for checking on me and our family and each other and checking on the show. I've just been overwhelmed, honestly, overwhelmed by the response we have had on us being out and all, and we just couldn't wait to get back. And we're glad to be back, and we sort of having pieced things together. Jeff and I, we had to find a microphone, and so we're gonna wing it now for a while. But we're okay, and I just want to again just tell you how much I appreciate the support and the outpouring of concern and all, not just for me, but for each other. And we're going to get into that later. But we're back, we're getting started, and I know a lot of y'all, I got a kick. A lot of y'all said my coffee just didn't taste the same, but I couldn't watch you on TV. So Joel King and all you folks that said that, we're glad to be back and sit back, relax, enjoy your coffee. And ironically, we're getting a lot of new viewers. And let me go ahead and start on it, 'cause I'm gonna ramble the whole day. So we're getting a lot of new viewers, and I just had one on Facebook a while ago. What's happening? A lot of folks are waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and not going back to sleep, and they've never done it before. They don't know how to handle it. And what I've told them, and I've just I'm winging this too. Researchers are going to call this. It's going to be called. It's a Michael syndrome. I'm serious now. And researchers will name it later. They're going to come here and do all kinds of studies, spend $1 million on the study and give you the results. But I'm going to give it to you free. It's called a Michael syndrome. And what has happened, we've gone through this traumatic experience of Hurricane Michael, and subconsciously it's affected most folks if you went through it. And I've woken up, I've done that myself, couldn't go back to sleep and all. It's going to get better, but it'll come back intermittently, and it's sort of it's part of that post-stress traumatic syndrome that our servicemen have, not near as serious as those, but still, I think it's one of those strains where even to ourselves, we're going through this really traumatic experience. So you folks that are not used to watching Panhandle Outdoors, welcome. We're going to entertain you, we're going to inform you, and we're going to encourage you to enjoy the great outdoors and be a better person, help our fellow man. So anyway, so here I am, start getting a ramble. Let's do our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center, and they're back in business, and I've been out there and I talked to some of the teachers. I had lunch with them, and they're doing well. They're not totally 100% back, but they're doing well. High today 73, low 55. Water temperature 63 degrees. The moon phase, I'm not sure. I couldn't find it. I think we're waning right now, but I'll get everything squared away tomorrow. Tide chart told us about Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at neap tides this week, and I was looking on the tide chart. Neap tides for a couple of days, but this weekend will be good, strong tides, so be aware of that. Low tide will be 3:30, and high tide is 6:39. Marine forecast west-southwest. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, and sincerely happy that you're here, and I'm happy that we're bringing this show back to you. It's we're just very thankful for it. Thank God for the opportunity to come back and get this show going back. So let's start. I was trying to think in the last couple of weeks where to start when I do get back to my first show. We're going to just start from the beginning, and I'm going to spend a lot of the day just talking about the storm and all. Later on in the week, we're going to have different guests and all coming in, but I'm just going to start from the beginning. And before I get into the pictures, I'm going to really show you a lot of pictures. Before I get into them, I want to start at the beginning. If you remember, I had a whole panel doing the show. Gail and I were gone that week. We were in the Florence, South Carolina at the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association, and had a great time, and headed back. I saw a little blip, headed back on that Sunday, and I've got some great highlights from the show, but that'll be on later on next week or whatever. But anyway, so saw weather the storm, and again got here. I was home Sunday night and went down Monday and put the wind barricade up and the panels for the storm at Cape San Blas. But again, the Weather Service really didn't say much about it being a very strong storm. And I think all of y'all will agree. And we go to bed, go back home and spend a day or two barricading, or 2 days really, thinking the storm would be coming out of the south, like it did before during Opal. And all that. And anyway, and so a lot of people, a lot of us were caught off guard. They had a mandatory evacuation was zone ABC. And we were in, of course, zone A being underwater. So we evacuated to my son's house, Chip's house over in Kings Point. They was zone D. So they were all safe and all, we thought. And you know, people, we had no, I really feel like we were not really informed of the severity of this storm, how strong it's going to be. And we would, I guarantee you, 100% of the folks that went through it would have evacuated if we'd known it was going to be that strong. But we just didn't, I don't know where the breakdown was, but it happened, and it is what it is. So anyway, we didn't get out of there. So so I'm going to show you some of my pictures, and later on I want you to send me some of your pictures and stories and all. And I got a lot of pictures. I'm going to sort of go through them. We're over there in the Kings Point area, and like I say, we didn't evacuate in all the years past. You know, we think we know everything, and we certainly didn't know it was going to be this strong. None of us did. All right, here we are. This is our Chip's house, and there's my little granddaughters. They're in the hallway, and they're a little scared. The storm, all of y'all know that went through it that morning. We got up, it just getting stronger and stronger. Now, let me say this. We did have some people evacuate, and a lot of people left at midnight. I know Mandy, I talked to Mandy Miller and their family. They left at 1 o'clock, and the roads, she said, were just completely empty. And this is something else. Now, in Opal, a lot of people decided to leave at the last minute, and if you remember in Opal, the roads were just packed, were jammed at the last minute. So that's why we'd consider leaving at the last minute, but I said, no, y'all remember in Opal, it stacked up. Well, this time, everybody left said that the roads were just completely empty. Brad and all of them said there was nobody on the highway, so we took off. So anyway, here we are that morning, storm's coming in. That's little Mackenzie and Maddie. So I've got all kind of little pictures, so I don't know where. I'm just going to show you. Let me just show you. This is out of Chip's back door, and let's see, it may not. Jeff, you think it's going to play? Okay, it's playing. This is just looking out the back door, and just show you the storm. Of course, we're facing east right there, and the storm is coming in from the north, and you can see, and it was amazing. I just sat there in awe. I stood around in awe, watching the force of it. And I didn't take a lot of pictures of it. I didn't want anything come through, flying through that window. And I sort of stood back a little bit, but you can just see the force of it. That it was truly amazing. And we did. I don't care what the meteorologists say when they evaluate it. I'm 100% convinced. I mean, I do care, but I know what I saw, and I know I saw some real. I saw some tornadoes. Is what I'm saying. And you don't actually see the tornado, but you can see how things, when it comes in solid white, those are little tornadoes coming through. So anyway, so now this is right after the storm. We're over in the Kings Point area. And what was amazing, we just walked, and it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We all walk out. There's Maddie there, and everybody's sort of in shock. I mean, we've never seen anything like this in our life. And the little girls will always remember this. This is, all of y'all went through the same thing, and it was just amazing. People taking pictures, and wind's still blowing a little bit, and people are just starting coming out of their houses now. So now, let me say this too. Of course, all the trees. I was fascinated with the what I call a chainsaw army, and every one of us from up on Highway 20 up in Jackson County and Calhoun County, all the stories I've heard, the chainsaw army came out, and the stories I heard, and we went through the same thing too. Not right in this neighborhood. We went back to that neighborhood. All of a sudden, people just appeared out of their backyards with chainsaws, cutting the roads, because when we first came in, we even couldn't get to our house. We had to park on Highway 77 and walk from Highway 77 all the way to our house because of the roads, trees. But within the next couple of hours, chainsaws just started appearing. I just call that a chainsaw army. You run into all kind of neighbors and neighbor way down the street, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us. We're going to continue this saga that we went through, and we're going to, I'm way behind, but we're just going to just pick it up here, and I want to hear your stories and your pictures later today. I'll be showing mine. This is, again, we're just showing, this is right after the storm. I'd say this is around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and again, all neighborhoods throughout the Panhandle, everybody had this kind of scenario, I know. And this is over in the Kings Point area. We stayed over at Chip's house, and everybody's on the phone trying to get it. Remember, we didn't have cell service. we got all kinds of stories on cell service, but we're going to just go through the pictures here. It all looked like this. I mean, every neighborhood. And this Key West boat was not hit. I need to show that to Bubba Hart. And we're going on. This is just some pictures we took. You know, how some trees bent over. That again, that was in the big roots. You would think those roots of those trees. This again fascinating to me how some trees survived and some trees snapped and some trees bent. They're all kind of. I was just fascinated with the nature part. Okay, right now this is just. I'm gonna fly through. This is at my house. A tree came through from you know, and we all got this. That's a limb that came through. Hit, you know, everything got wet. These are trees on top of my house, and I won't bore you with a lot of these details. Had, you know, all kind of shingles and all. We didn't. Well, here's what's here are the holes. That's what fascinated me too. Also, the holes and all put in the roof and all by just smaller limbs, but they just poked through like a spear. And okay, just a lot of holes. All right, now, let me stop right here before I get to this. Now, one of the things too, fascinating, looking at the damage and all done. Like I said, we were expecting water coming up, and I had sandbags, and we were well prepared for all of that. And then what happened? We were expecting a south wind, but it came out of the north in our part of the woods, and so that's where everybody had. That's why there's so much damage, because it affected everybody. If it had just been a storm surge, it would have just affected the people within a block or two of the water, and this is where it sort of threw everybody off. And I've been all over the Panhandle. I haven't been up to Mariana yet, but I know y'all got hit hard. I know the Bluntstown's got hit hard, and Liberty counties, and everybody got hit hard. Some a little bit harder than others, and I honestly believe after I've been through and down to the Cape and through St. Joe, Mexico Beach, if you haven't seen that, words cannot describe what happened at Mexico Beach. It was just phenomenal. So you really have to see that for yourself, and that you know, our heart goes out to them, and there's so many people, but so much good has come from this and all. But here we didn't. Like I said, I'm going through these pictures. This was the following Sunday morning. This is our church, the Lynn Haven Methodist. You can see the roof. So many churches with these big metal buildings and all roofs, it blew off, and we just gathered. Everybody just showed up Sunday morning and showed up in the parking lot, brought a chair, and we just had service in the parking lot. And let me say this, and we've had, seven straight Sundays we've had service in the parking lot, and it's been awesome. We have 2 or 3 services. Now we just had 1 service, and it's been so neat to see everybody coming together, hugging and all. And all the good things that happen. We've been fed every Sunday by different churches from across the southeast, or from different places in Alabama, Gulf Breeze, a church out of Niceville. They all came down and just fed us after church, and that's been just, you know, unexpectedly nice things. And that, I know a lot of folks have gone through that, but the damage to, you know, a great fellowship and all. We just sat out there in the chairs and all. All right, next story. All right, anyway, I can't get over. We just had impromptu services almost. And first Sunday too, a lot of people there. Boy, all of a sudden, I guess they heard about a free meal, but we started having big crowds. So anyway, and by the way, we had 7 straight Sundays of beautiful weather. I mean, perfect weather. Now, you call that coincidence, whatever you want to. I just call that just God answering prayer to getting us out there in the parking lot having a good service. And now we're going to start going into Bay Haven, and all the churches across have helped each other so much and helped other people. Here's my pole barn. The funny story on this, you see that truck, my neighbor, or my tenant, Jim, asked before the storm, he said, "Winston, would it be okay to park my truck under the pole barn?" I said, "Sure." I said, "It'll be real safe right there on the pole barn." And you can see what happened at my neighbor's truck. So anyway, but folks, it actually stopped before it hit the truck. And it was humorous to us that it didn't put a scratch on the truck, like it stopped. And so anyway, we'll go through those pictures. So all right, here's my boat. I can't say the same thing about my boat. We got okay, we'll just go through, let's see. We'll go through, it landed on my cowling, so it crushed it. But my power pole, look at it, standing up strong, the power pole, okay. But that's standing up strong and all. All right, now, Jeff, I'm gonna have to go probably skip over some more pictures. Okay, let's go to this section right here. We had, okay, this, Walter and Wendy and all of them came down. That's Mason there, a little chainsaw. They all got on top of the house and they cut these trees off, and it was just a wonderful time. The kids just exhausted. They all helped, Walter and Wendy and Whitney and all of them. They stayed here 3 days helping us clean, just getting stuff off. They went and help some other people too, so I was real proud of them. And those are some of the pictures. And they're tired here. So anyway, I don't want to get to all these family pictures. I wanted to just show you. We had a really special time as a family. And then these are the trees in the water. So, all my trees fell in the water, and all my neighbors' trees fell on my house. So, okay, we'll get on through those. We had a good time with that though, and okay, so enough of those on the water. All right, now let's see what this one is. Oh, that's when they're all exhausted. Okay, so now we'll go through. This is their house. Let's go over it. Let's see. This is some better pictures of well, the same picture we had on it. This is the power pole. I'm gonna send this picture to power pole people. That's and the Harts Marine, how that survived. And really, it's still running. Okay, so we're going through there. There's Mason just having fun on the. Okay, we get on through these family ones. Okay, Jeff, we're probably at a point right now. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at a fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. And by the way, been down there, they're open. Now listen, all of our sponsors were hit. Some were hit very hard. Blue Water Outriggers, but they're back in business. The Piggly Wiggly's open, and I got a story to tell you about George Duran, how they saw pontoon boats floating in the parking lot. It's just a great story from George. But our times today are 8:41 to 10:41 and 9:05, 11:05. Let me mention this right now. I haven't been fishing since the storm. I would just honestly sort of feel guilty. I couldn't get out and enjoy fishing right now with so much having to be done. So many people still in need and all, and so we're not doing a lot of outdoor stuff this first week or two. We're not going to really. Anyway, I'm not saying don't go fishing or hunting, because it certainly is good for us to do that. And we need to do it soon, but I'm just not ready. If you know, some of y'all know what I mean. Just not ready to do it yet, but I will be soon. So that's why we're getting back on the air. So. And doing these things. I want to tell this story here. This is when I had all kind of people helping and all. Tony, y'all, my fishing buddy, Tony, y'all know all my Valdosta fishing buddies. They came down on a Saturday. Tony said, Winston, what can I do? I said, if you can help me get this pole barn off of all this stuff. I said, I don't have any insurance on the pole barn. I said, I need help on it. And they came down, Tony and Kenyon, and they came down, a couple of them. And anyway, I'll just show you real quick. This is how the pole barn looked, and they came here. It was 90-something degrees that Saturday. Remember the Saturday, 2 Saturdays after the storm? Here's Tony kicking it, but we got that pole barn. Okay, well, I didn't mean to go that fast, but I was going to show you. We got the. I'm doing a different technology now. Okay, anyway, I just want to show you, Jeff. Where are we? I just wanted to show you that we did get the pole barn. 4 or 5 guys got it all apart and got it off the boats and everything. And anyway, that was just a special Saturday. Spent the whole day doing it. So we got it down. You can see we got it. Okay, now let's go. People ask about the beach house. So here's Cape San Blas. I was going to show you the story. We did get. I honestly thought it might have been blown away like the houses at Mexico Beach before, and they couldn't get a hold of anybody. So you can see we did have some roof damage. Wendy was able to find this on the satellite before we got down there and said it's still standing, so I was glad to see that. But I had some roof damage and siding damage. Nothing that can't be fixed. We'll get a new roof. I want to show you, this is what's fascinating. Now, my lot is one of the tallest, if not the tallest lot on Cape San Blas. I did that purposely. That's a sand dune that we built on. Now, if you see that water line in the driveway, folks, that's a water line that came in, not from the Gulf of Mexico, that came in out of St. Joe Bay. St. Joe Bay is behind my house. I'm facing the Gulf. That was what fascinated me, I think, as much as anything. That much water came onto the Cape. And you know, you've heard the story about it being washed into. We're going to get into that later with some other people at the boat landing. But that's powerful right there. It came up, I'm up on a hill, and it came up, that's standing water there, that water line. They pushed all kinds of stuff up. I just wanted to, and then you can see, this is me looking down, but let's get on past my house. I want to show you, let's see, that's where it came up. Okay, now we're over on the beach side. I want to show you the sand dunes that were cut in half. Look on the left-hand side. I got some better pictures here. But now this is the beauty of the sand dunes. We're always talking about sand dunes protecting it. Those houses are standing on the Gulf now because of the sand dune breaking those waves and taking a big hit. Now they will eventually build back, but that's why you don't build on you know, up there on the water and knock the sand dunes down like people used to do. But look how they cut in half. Those sand dunes really there at the right side, down by the water line, and you can see where they were protected here. And these just different houses. Now let's go down to the stump hole. This is one of the most fascinating things we saw. We went this about a week after the storm. Now we're at the stump hole. What I want to show you the erosion, how much sand was taken out. You're not going to. I don't think most of y'all are going to comprehend this because I didn't comprehend it till I got down there and actually started walking around looking at it. We're walking on the beach. That's Maddie and Chip, and we parked out on the road. The road was washed out, but they put some slag down to get us out there. So we're just walking on the beach now. This is that. I just want to show you. That's Chip and Maddie and Mackenzie is walking along, and now I want to get up there and show you. They took the brunt of it. Okay, this is right where the stump hole, where all the rocks are, and you can see they lost their roof and all. But I want to get okay. They lost the sort of foundation being out. These are the okay. Now, you see the white paint right there? That's what the sand was up there too. See those boards on the right hand side? The sand was up that high, so that much sand was washing out. Okay, that's the sand dune. You can see where the sand dunes washed out. I just wanted you to see that. That washed, I don't know where that came from. It just washed up on them. Okay. And, okay, now, this is right down by the stump hole. Look how much sand washed out. I went by too fast. This is complete, we winged it this morning. That's where they put the road back in. I want to get this picture. Okay, that's where we were. Okay. That's a wave back. This is one I really, Chip is 6'2", and he's reaching up to where the sand was. See where it was painted? That's where it was hard to comprehend. That sand was there, and what happened? It washed out. It washed into the bay going when the storm hit, and then when the storm came back out, it washed back out the other way. So that's how much you can see the sand right there. How tall, how much it was washed out at the stump hole. That's the slag and all that road washed out. And that's how much sand is on there. Oh, I ran out of time. Okay, we're over. Okay, thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.